Hi guys, part two. Sorry, my phone actually was too full. How about that? Anyway, I just want to make it known and make it clear that these guys are sweet. They really are. All of them are, unless they've had some kind of horrible experience with people. And so, and they are docile. I mean, that's, one of the things that makes them the most popular reptile in the United States. It's because they're so wonderful to have and they are so docile. If you're interested to know, second most popular pet is ball python. Third is leopard gecko. Anyway, that's just more trivia for you. So so please know that if you have a dragon and they've been great and they've been docile and they all of a sudden one day bite you. Number one, it was probably an accident, because if it happens when you're feeding them or you're giving them a hornworm or you're giving them some kind of treat and they bite you, they just didn't realize that your finger was under the worm. Okay, so that wasn't a mistake and an accident, and don't be upset with them for that. You need to keep your fingers out of the way. Okay, if you have trouble with that, you can always use your tongs. Okay. Secondly, it's very important to understand that these dragons ask very little of us in relation to what they provide to us, right? These are wonderful guys. They are sweet. They care. They want us in their lives. They want to be with us. They don't want to chew on us. That's never their goal. Number one, they don't usually put stuff in their mouth they can't swallow. So, obviously people fit in that category among other things, right? So, they don't want to bite you. So if you're feeding them or giving them a treat and they accidentally chomp on you, it was an accident, was a little mistake. So please don't overreact or take it out on them. Secondly, if they chew on you when you're trying to do something for them medically or in some other way, can you be more difficult today, Chimera? Come on, buddy. Work with me. 2 more minutes. Thank you. So, just know that they are really loving, sweet animals. They really are. And so, if you're doing something to them and they tell you, hey, they give you a warning, whether that's a tail slap or they kind of brush you off with their arms or their feet, give them 30 minutes to be themselves. Feed them, give them a bath, give them a treat, let them heat up, whatever the issue is, and then try it again. Chances are you're going to get done whatever you have to get done. You just need to give them a break. Sometimes they have to mentally prepare. A lot of people, when they go to the doctor and they have to have a shot, it's the same kind of thing. They've got to prepare themselves mentally for, oh boy, here it comes. Okay, well, the dragons do that too. I mean, everything that we do to them is unusual. It's not in their nature. They don't find it in the Australian outback. Even if we're doing it for their own good, they don't have any way of understanding that. Okay? So, leave it for a few minutes and come back. Nothing is so urgent. It can't wait a half hour, especially if you're going to have a better situation by waiting. Okay? Third thing, and this one is really important. Okay? If you and your dragon have a misunderstanding, do not hold a grudge. Okay? Don't hold it against them. Do not act afraid of them. Do not act like they suddenly became some evil creature, okay? Understand it was a misunderstanding. They probably feel as bad about it as you do. And they don't mean to be harmful, okay? But the reality is, if you hold it against them, it's going to be devastating for them because they have social emotional needs. And if you own a dragon, if you're lucky enough to be a dragon guardian, they have social emotional needs. These are not animals that you can throw food and water in the tank, turn on a light, and call it cared for. No, that's not going to be enough. They'll eventually die just because they haven't had any interaction. So you have to be a part of their lives. So, they want to be in your corner. They want you in their corner. So you see here, now he knows he bit me, and I knew he bit me. But you see why I'm doing this on purpose, so he knows it's okay. I still trust you. I know it was my fault, and I know you didn't want to do it, and I'm sorry it happened. and we can go on from here, and it's okay. Okay? So it's really important that you remain your dragon's best buddy, okay? Even if it's an accident and they accidentally, chew on you a little. They don't mean it, and they will not understand it if you're suddenly angry with them, or you ignore them, or you give them dirty looks. They're not going to know why that happened. To them, it's over. They did a bite, they went, oops, so sorry, and then it was done. So if you hold it against them, or you hold a grudge, or you don't interact with them because you're mad, then you're doing more damage than you know. So please don't do that, okay? Now, if you happen to be one of these people that truly have an aggressive dragon, either, they've been neglected severely, or they've been injured, somebody really hurt them and left them in pain. Somebody abandoned them in a wooded area to try to fend for themselves, which, by the way, never do that because it's a death sentence. Don't ever do that. See, he's waving at Finn. He's trying to get his attention. So, in the event that you do have an aggressive dragon, and then to be fair, there are some dragons that just don't really have any interest in being held. That's just not their thing. They'd rather be someone that hangs out most of the time in their house. Okay, respect that. That just means that you have a dragon who doesn't want to be passed around to 50 or 60 people, okay? Take them out, give them what they need, give them their bath, feed them, hold them, pet them a little bit, put them back, and let them be done, okay? Maybe they only need you 15 minutes a day. Okay, that's okay. If you try to force them, it's just going to make both of you miserable, okay? I would say, though, that if you're having trouble, he's still waving at Finn, who's been bobbing at him. That's what he's doing. If you have a dragon that's really not fond of people, and they're very aggressive, and you're trying to figure out how to interact with them, I would recommend harness training them, because that will take some of that that hyper piece of leave me aloneism, which is what I call it, out of them. And so, if nothing else, you will have them on a tether. They can only go as far as you let them, so that you establish who's the boss. Most dragons learn that. Neil, get ready to catch him. And there he goes down the steps. Most dragons learn that by the fact that they see you come in to feed them every day. Well, that's great. And if all dragons learn that, that would be wonderful. Most of them do, but not all of them do. So if you have a dragon who just is not interested in really having that much socialization, okay, then they're really not interested in that much socialization. So, but remember that every dragon's an individual. Every one of them is an individual. They have their own likes and their own dislikes. They have their own wants, their own needs. And one of the things they need the most is you. So please remember to give them love if they'll take it. Give them space if they need it. If you have to do something that they're not going to like, make sure they've got all their needs met. They've had their bath, they've had their food, they've had everything. Wrap them in a towel if you have to. And if it's still horrible, give them a break for 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour, and then go back and do it again.